8 months ago, I made a video about AI in software testing, what it meant for QA and what skills would matter, and where the market was heading. That video became this channel's most watched. And honestly, looking back at it now, I got some things right, but I also got some things wrong. Not because the fundamentals changed, but because the speed of it surprised even me. And here's what I didn't expect. I've been reading what QA testers are actually saying online over the last few weeks. Threads from senior testers, not juniors, senior testers with 10, 12 years of experience asking how to leave the industry. People genuinely terrified that AI is going to delete their career before they can react. And I get it. When you're inside the anxiety, everything looks like a threat, but I've also been on the hiring side of the table. What I'm seeing from there, what companies are actually paying for right now, that tells a very different story. So I'm going to do something most people won't. I'm going to tell you what I got wrong in that first video, what's actually happening on the ground, and what you now need to do differently. Right. Here's what I got right back in November. The skills that matter: risk thinking, product understanding, communication. Those haven't changed, and if anything, they're even more valuable. Now, here's what I got wrong: the timeline. I thought we maybe had 2 to 3 years before AI genuinely reshaped the QA hiring market. I was off by about 18 months because what's happened since November isn't just that tools got better, it's that companies have started making hiring decisions based on them. I've spoken to 3 QA managers in the last quarter who told me the same thing. When a candidate's CV is entirely manual test execution, they're not even getting an interview. Not because AI can do their job better, because the expectations has already shifted. Companies now assume that you're using AI for the repetitive stuff. So the interview isn't about whether you can write test cases, it's about what you do after the AI generates them. And that is a huge difference. That's the shift I missed the speed of. Now, here's the thing I didn't say in that first video. This isn't the first time QA has faced an existential moment. It's the third time I've watched it happen. The first was in the early 2000s. Automation tools like QTP and Selenium started appearing. The conversations were like, manual testing is dead, testers need to learn code or they're finished. What actually happened? Manual testing didn't disappear, it evolved. Testers who could think critically became more valuable, not less. The repetitive execution moved to scripts and the thinking moved up. The second was the agile and DevOps transformation around 2012. Suddenly developers were supposed to test their own code. QA was supposedly redundant. The same fear cycles ran through the industry. What actually happened? QA became embedded in delivery teams. The role changed, but the demand didn't go down, it went up. Companies realised shipping faster without quality assurance was just shipping broken faster. And trust me, I've seen both of these cycles play out from the hiring side. Every single time the same repeats. The tools change, the repetitive work gets automated, and the value shifts to things automation can't touch. So here we are, wave 3, AI, same fear, same headlines. And if history is anything like a guide, and I've got 25 years of it, same outcome. So let's be specific. What is AI actually replacing in QA right now? Because the fear is so broad that most testers don't know what to take seriously. AI is genuinely replacing one thing: repetitive execution. Generates test cases from requirement documents, it runs regression suites overnight, writes that boilerplate automation scripts that a junior tester would have spent 2 or 3 days on years ago. That part is real. If your entire day is executing test cases someone else wrote and logging the results, that work is going away. I won't sugarcoat that, but here's what AI is not replacing, and this is what I look for when I still hire now. AI doesn't understand your business. It can tell you the test failed, it cannot tell you whether that failure should delay a release. It doesn't know your users, your revenue model, your regulatory environment, your competitive landscape. It doesn't know that the third-party payment screen breaking is a disaster, but the profile picture upload glitching is fine to ship. That judgment, the ability to connect a technical failure to business impact, is something AI can't touch. AI also can't influence a room. It can produce a bug report, but it cannot sit across from a product manager who's pushing to ship and explain why that performance regression actually matters in commercial terms. It cannot negotiate, it cannot read the dynamics of a delivery team, and it knows when to push and compromise. So here's the actual split. AI does replace execution. AI cannot replace thinking, judgment, communication, and business context at the moment. Now, I talked about skills in the first video, but I didn't frame them the way I should have, so let me fix that. Here are 3 things that right now determine whether you're replaceable or essential, using the same format you saw in the salary video I did the other week. So if you've not seen that, check it out. Risk judgment, not what to test, what it matters if it breaks. I've seen two testers look at the same application. One produces 100 test cases covering every field, the other produces 20, and every single one connects to a business risk. This screen handles payments. If it fails, we lose revenue immediately. This feature faces external users. A bug here is reputational. The second tester is one who gets hired, and this is a massive difference in how you approach the work. Multiplier number 2 is domain depth. I touched on this in the salary video, and the data tells me you wanted more on it. And here's why it matters even more with AI. So the closer you are to product and the customer, the harder you are to replace. An AI tool doesn't know when your fintech app has especially regulatory requirements around, say, transaction reporting. It doesn't know that your healthcare users behave differently than your e-commerce users. Domain knowledge is a moat, and right now it's the thing companies are paying a premium for, because AI can learn to test any app, but it cannot learn why your specific app matters. And multiplier 3, visibility and influence. I said it again in the first video, and I'll say it again louder. Technical skills get you noticed, communication skills get you promoted. But here's what's different now. With AI handling the execution, the only testers who are visible are the ones in the room. The ones presenting to stakeholders, the ones writing the quality strategy document, the ones who can explain why a release decision matters. If you're invisible, if you just log bugs and on the move, AI is going to make it even more invisible. So if you're in that room, you're irreplaceable. Now, here's the part I hesitated to say in the first video, and genuinely, it's more uncomfortable than I like. If your entire QA career so far has been executing tests, logging bugs, and following scripts someone else wrote, you're right to be worried, because that work is being automated right now. Not in 2 years, now. And the uncomfortable truth is, nobody's going to retain you. The market doesn't care how many years you've been testing. It only cares about what you can do next week. And that's brutal to hear, I know, but I'd rather you hear it from me than find out in an interview room. I've built an entire framework around this inside the STLC Academy. How to reposition yourself from test executor to quality strategist. How to build risk-thinking communication skills that actually command premium salaries. But the short version that you can think and act on today without any course, without any question, is this. On your project, your next sprint, your next ticket, ask this, not what test should I write, but what happens to business if this fails in production. Not the test suite, not the automation pipeline, the business, the customer, the revenue, the reputation. The moment you start framing quality in business terms rather than test terms, you move from replaceable to essential. Because AI can generate test cases faster than you, it can't answer that question. And the tester who can, the tester who walks into a planning meeting and says the real risk here isn't the login page, it's the payment reconciliation, because if that's wrong, we have a financial liability. That tester doesn't get replaced. Hey, that tester even gets promoted. I've watched this happen across 3 technology waves now. The people who survive aren't the ones who resist the change, they're the ones who move up in value, while the machines handle the bottom. So, 8 months later, what's changed? The timeline's accelerated. The hiring market shifted faster than I predicted, but the fundamentals, well, they've held. AI is replacing repetitive QA execution. It's not replacing thinking, judgment, communication, or business context. And the testers who are building their careers around 3 or 4 things right now are not just safe. They are more valuable than they've ever been, because when everyone can generate test cases with a prompt, the differentiation isn't the output, it's the thinking behind it. One thing that will not save you, certifications. No hiring manager I've spoken to in the last 8 months have said, we really need someone with an ISTQB foundation. What they're asking for is risk judgment, product sense, the ability to communicate, build those. Certifications are just a footnote for now. So I'm curious, of those 3 multiples, risk, judgment, domain depth, and visibility, which one do you feel you're strongest in? And which one do you know that you need to develop? Let me know in the comments, because I genuinely want to hear from people and where they're placing themselves. And one more thing, the QA market is split. I talked about this in a previous video. One group is struggling to get interviews, the other is struggling to get hired. The difference isn't experience, it's not even technical skills, it's a mindset. So if you haven't watched that one, it's linked here at the end. Until next time, from inside STLC, goodbye.